Have you ever wondered how one man can rise from prison to the presidency and then change the political game forever? This isn't just a story of power. It's a story of transformation, betrayal, and the dangerous dance between hope and control. Today, we dive into the meteoric rise and controversial reign of a political titan who turned an entire nation into his personal chessboard. But here's the twist. Was he a hero or just another power-hungry strongman? Stick around, because what you're about to hear will change the way you see politics. Before he was a president, before he had bodyguards, motorcades, and stadiums chanting his name, he was just a boy from a broken neighborhood. He grew up in a post-colonial country riddled with inequality, where the rich ruled with foreign backing, and the poor, they barely had running water. His mother sold vegetables at the market. His father was absent. By 16, he was reading political manifestos by candlelight. By 22, he had already been arrested for leading protests against the government. The people called him bold. The government called him dangerous. But prison didn't break him. It built him. After a decade behind bars, he walked free with a plan. The country was in turmoil, corruption, violence, elections rigged like slot machines. He launched a grassroots movement that felt more like a revolution than a campaign. He wore no suits, spoke the people's language, ate from street vendors. Within 5 years, he'd built a movement from the slums to the suburbs. They called themselves the New Dawn. The election came, and against all odds, he won. Tears flowed across the country. Finally, people whispered, "One of us." At first, he delivered. He slashed minister salaries, built schools, reopened hospitals, corrupt officials, fired, prosecuted, jailed. The international media couldn't get enough of him. He was the golden boy of African democracy, a symbol of post-colonial revival, a hope for the continent. But behind the speeches and headlines, something darker was brewing. It started with small things. Journalists critical of his policies were denied access to press conferences. Opposition leaders were arrested on murky charges. Parliament passed new security laws overnight. Then came the referendum. He said it was to bring stability. Critics said it was a power grab. The result? Term limits abolished. Suddenly, the man who promised change had become the change he once fought against. The economy dipped. Protests began. His response? Brutal crackdowns. Social media was blocked. Curfews imposed. But here's the wild part. He still had massive support. Why? Because he kept building roads, kept giving free healthcare, kept feeding children. He was both feared and loved, a populist with an iron fist. Every decision he made walked the line between genius and tyranny. Now, years later, the country stands at a crossroads. Some call him the father of modern independence. Others, a dictator in disguise. He transformed a fragile democracy into a semi-authoritarian state, but one with functioning infrastructure and millions lifted from poverty. The question remains, can you forgive the loss of freedom if it came with food on the table? This is the paradox of modern leadership. In a world starved for justice, can a leader be both savior and oppressor? And most importantly, what would you choose? Freedom with hunger or control with comfort? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell if you want more powerful political stories like this. Because history isn't just in the past, it's the blueprint for our future.